Hello everybody, I'm Jeff Chandler with the North Carolina Soybean Producers Association. Today I'm here to introduce a new program in North Carolina that we've launched from the Soybean Association called Farmers for Soil Health. Farmers for Soil Health is a national initiative that was undertaken by the Soybean Checkoff, the Corn Growers Association, and the National Pork Board to invest in cover crops and other climate smart practices for farmers in the U.S. Specifically here in North Carolina, as one of the participating states in this program, our efforts are going to be focused around cover crop adoption in North Carolina. As part of that, there is a new NC State Extension program that's been established around conservation agronomy that will deliver research-based information to farmers across the state about cover crops as well as other sustainability practices they may choose to use on their farms. Another part of this program that we're excited about with Farmers for Soil Health is that there is a cost share incentive payment program available to farmers to help offset the cost of adopting cover crop practices. That's a 3-year cost share payment program available through farmersforsoilhealth.com. Again, I'm Jeff Chandler with the Soybean Producers Association. We would be happy to help you with implementation of cover crops on your farm. And no, you do not have to be a soybean grower to participate in this program. This is for all farmers in North Carolina.
I'm Mike Kudinoff, Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering at NC State. And I'm here to talk about some of the work that we're doing to translate optical sensing technologies into solutions that can be used by sweet potato stakeholders like yourself. And so one of the technologies that we're looking at is polarization sensing. And so polarization sensing is not used extensively in either agriculture or on packing lines. However, it is very useful in terms of being able to detect things like surface roughness. So spectroscopy really focuses on detecting color through absorption. So plants are green because light at blue and red are absorbed. And polarization really focuses on being able to detect things like surface roughness. So is an object smooth or is it rough? And the little nematode galls, the little bumps, really show up very well in polarized light. And so we have some preliminary results looking at that, where we have imaged several samples both with and without southern root knot nematode. And we've already set up a classifier, and by we, I mean my student Ann Nguyen, has set up a classifier to detect or use the degree of linear polarization to classify whether a root, sweet potato root, has galls or does not have galls. And so the goal here is on a pickout line or an eliminator table, being able to highlight, coupling it with some kind of a projection system, which of the roots has galls or other kinds of defects, really. It could be really any defect. And then instructing the workers to really pick out those items. So really trying to focus on the labor and training aspects as well as the translation of the technology to a solution. And then I have my student here, Hoang Nguyen, who's working on interactance spectroscopy. It's a different kind of optical sensing that allows us to potentially measure the internal characteristics of a sweet potato root. And so this can be useful for detecting necrosis, but he can talk about that.
Yeah, so again, my name is Hoang. Like Mike just said, so our techniques that we've used here are polarization for the classification of presence of nematodes. So for my research, we'll use polarization, scattering, and multispectral approaches to examine the internal characteristics of the sweet potato. So this is a concept diagram of what our system is looking like. So first we have 3 laser systems at different wavelengths, and they create a fan that the sweet potato can go through under a conveyor system. The laser then penetrates within the tissue, and depending on whether the tissue is healthy or unhealthy, will scatter differently. What we do is then we we image the light that's scattered, and we can see different characteristics based on different combinations of scattering and polarization and wavelengths that we look at. Our goal is to use multiple channels like this to create a model that we can use to either classify or even better localize where the nematodes are, or if there are nematodes in the root. So for here we're looking at internal necrosis and root knot nematodes, but beyond this what we'd like to do is measure other characteristics such as pithiness or internal damage that can occur with the roots.
So that's just a summary of two of the technologies that we're trying to translate into solutions for growers, packers, and producers for sweet potatoes in North Carolina. We'd like to thank our sponsors, the NC Sweet Potato Commission, National Science Foundation, and the NC State GRIP 4 PSI program.